David, where are you? Are you on your way? I'm pretty sure the waiter is beginning to think I lied about waiting for my fiancé. He's been side-eyeing me for the past 20 minutes.
Sorry, honey, something urgent came up. I'll be there as soon as I'm done running this errand. And hey, maybe that waiter's just admiring your beauty. Oh, I know. You should try knocking on the table a few times with your left hand so he'll see your engagement ring.
Oh my god, do you want me to get escorted out of the restaurant? Please try to hurry. I can't execute my master plan if you're not here.
Your master plan?
Have you forgotten already? When you enter the restaurant, give me a kiss, hand me the gift, and say, "Happy birthday," loud enough for the waitstaff to hear, and they'll give us a complimentary birthday cake.
I thought you had to arrange that while making the reservation.
Not in this restaurant. I checked their reviews, and they only do it this way.
Is the gift an integral part of this plan? Because I may have left it at home.
Well, yes, it won't look authentic otherwise.
But it really is your birthday. Couldn't you just show them your ID? What's more authentic than that?
Well, then it will seem too forced. I want it to be a lovely, effortless experience.
Isn't there a boutique on the way to the restaurant? I could get you something from there. They'll probably have some nice gift bags, too.
No way! Everything in that place is insanely overpriced. Also, if you ever gift me a piece of clothing or footwear, we're breaking up on the spot.
You're telling me this 4 years into the relationship?
Yes. Well, I've only just recently figured out how I hated it. Luckily, all your gifts so far have been wonderful. That's why we're perfect for each other. It's like you can read my mind.
How about some faux jewelry, then? I bet it'd look believable enough from far away.
Okay, that's good. Jewelry is a classic birthday gift. I'll send you the address of a shop that sells empty gift bags from fancy stores. Place it in there, and we're good to go.
Great. I'll get there as soon as I can.
I've been sitting here for an hour, David. What's taking you so long? I'm getting hungry.
Adeline, let's break up.
Oh, come on. I am not going to break up with you because you're late to my birthday dinner. If you're feeling unwell, just tell me and I'll head back home.
No, I'm being serious. I think it's for the best.
Why? Did something happen in the last 30 minutes? Wait, is it because of what I said about gifts? Because that was just a joke. Did you get me a dress or a pair of shoes? I won't break up with you since it's your first offense.
I'm sorry. I wish I had more time, but the wedding's in a week and I couldn't look you in the eye with this secret weighing on my chest.
What wedding? What are you talking about?
My wedding. I'll be marrying Claudia next Friday.
Claudia? As in your boss's daughter, Claudia? The creepy woman who's been obsessed with you for years? Isn't she almost twice your age? Wait, have you been cheating on me with her this whole time? Why ask me to marry you then? What was the point?
Please try to stay calm. You don't want to make a scene at the restaurant.
Oh, I see. This was your plan all along, wasn't it? You never cared about my birthday dinner. You just wanted to call off the engagement from a safe distance. No wonder you didn't bother bringing the gift. Perhaps it never even existed.
You know that's not true. Things just don't always work out the way we want them to. I hope you'll be able to accept my decision calmly and we can remain friends.
Who said I wasn't calm? I am the very model of peace and tranquility. My beloved fiancé called off our engagement over text on my birthday and announced he'll be marrying someone else in a week. Oh well, c'est la vie. I'll start looking for a dress to wear at the wedding reception. You will send me an invitation, won't you? I've heard it's customary to invite your friends to your wedding.
I'll stay at Nathaniel's place for the night. Tomorrow I'll get my things from the apartment. Please don't destroy anything in a blind rage.
I can't believe you have the audacity to accuse me of being so vindictive as to damage your belongings. I'll start packing your stuff as soon as I get back home. I'm sure it'll be a fun birthday activity.
You don't have to do that.
I want to do it. You can't embarrass yourself by showing up at your new wife's mansion with wrinkled clothes. Oh, and not that you care, but the waiter saw me tearing up and I told him I'd just been dumped on my birthday. He brought me the birthday cake and a bottle of champagne and said today's meal was on the house. Look.
Great. I hope it'll help you get over the shock much faster. Just make sure to drink responsibly.
You're right. I can't drink this whole bottle alone. Maybe I'll ask someone to join me for dinner since I'm a single woman now.
Please don't do anything reckless.
I can't promise that now, can I? That reminds me, the only reason I made the reservation so late in the evening was that I thought we'd drive home together. So if I happen to come across a dangerous taxi driver and something does happen to me, I'll haunt you forever, both you and your new wife.
How can you say something so morbid? I'm sure you'll be just fine.
Will I? I don't know. I'm wearing a floor-length dress and 3-inch heels. I wouldn't even be able to run.
Would you like me to drive you home?
Aren't you scared I'll steal a stale breadstick and attack you in my blind rage?
Were they that bad? I thought it was a 5-star restaurant.
It's a hypothetical scenario. Don't overthink it. Just answer my question.
I asked you to marry me, Adeline. I was ready to spend the rest of my life with you. I wouldn't do that if even for a second I believed you could harm me if we ever did break up.
So what changed? Why did you change your mind? Please, just be honest with me. Tell me that you got bored of me. Tell me that you fell for someone else. Tell me that you hate the way I eat. Say that you hate my new haircut or the fact that I never vote. Please, just give me a single reason, any reason, and I'll disappear from your life forever.
I'm sorry. It's better if I don't say anything. It just happened. I'll give you a ride back home if you'd like. Just tell me when I should pick you up.
I saw you type something and delete it, David. I know there's something you're not telling me.
Would you prefer if I parked the car in front of the restaurant and took the bus home, if it's too difficult for you to get into the car with me?
It is difficult, but I also want you to say you want to break up with me in person. I want to stand in front of you and look you in the eyes as those words leave your lips. Tell me, is that too much to ask for?
I can't do that.
Why?
Because I don't want to. That's the truth. Don't bother driving here. Go back to the apartment and start packing. I'll be staying at my parents' house for a few days. Let me know when you're done moving out. I am sorry. I hope someday you can find it in your heart to forgive me. Please don't talk to me about forgiveness before my tears have had a chance to dry. But, time heals all wounds. I know I won't be able to forget you, but I am sure time will eventually dull the pain. Until then, let's just stay out of each other's lives. As you wish. Oh, and happy birthday, Adeline. I'll leave your present on the coffee table. Good night. David told me what happened. Are you okay? I want you to know that I won't be taking his side just because he's my brother. What he did was absolutely disgraceful. Thank you, Nathaniel, but there's no need to take sides. All night, in between bouts of crying and anger, I paced around the room anxiously. Once I managed to calm myself down and got some sleep, I came to one conclusion. If this is truly what he wants, there's nothing I can do. What do you mean? Aren't you angry?
If I were you, I'd be furious.
Well, I am not sure. I don't even know why he decided to call off the engagement out of the blue. I am more curious than anything else, but he refuses to say a word. Did he mention anything to you? Perhaps he had a reason. What if there's a simple explanation for all this? Adeline, I didn't say this earlier because I wanted to protect you, but hearing you make excuses for him, as difficult as it may be, you deserve to know the truth. Yes, please, tell me the truth. I will be forever grateful to you. It pains me to say this, but David told me he'd been having an affair with Claudia for a few months now. And the reason they're getting married so quickly is that she's pregnant with his child. She called him last night and told him about the pregnancy. No, that can't be true. He wouldn't do that. How could he ever do something like that? I am so sorry. I wish it was untrue, but he told me so himself. Ever since our parents died, he was the one person I aspired to be like. An upstanding citizen with a respectable job and a lovely, kind-hearted fiancé. To think he'd throw it all away for an affair with a rich woman. I never thought living under the same roof could feel so taxing. I don't know what to say. I tried calling him, but it keeps going directly to voicemail. I tried texting him, but the text won't go through. Did he really block me? David's never been particularly confrontational. He probably thinks it's easier that way. But I want to talk to him. I need to talk to him. Do you know where I can find him? Unfortunately, I have no idea. He left for his wedding cake tasting a few hours ago. I'd offer to message him for you, but I'm not sure he'd be willing to meet up. That's okay. I guess he just doesn't want to give me a straightforward answer. If he cares so little about my feelings, so be it. Tell him he doesn't have to make up ridiculous cover stories. I'll cut off contact with him for good. I was only relaying what he told me. Once again, I am really sorry my brother put you in this uncomfortable situation. If there's anything I can do to make you feel better, just tell me. Thank you. It'll all be fine eventually. I'm sure you'll find the strength to move on. I'll try. Why won't you leave me alone? Excuse me, who is this? It's Claudia, David's future wife. We're going to get married tomorrow no matter what you do, understood? So stay away from us. The only reason I haven't sued you is that I know David still, for whatever reason, considers you a friend. What are you talking about? I haven't spoken to him since the day we broke up. So you claim you had nothing to do with this? I received these pictures anonymously this morning. What's the meaning of all this? Has someone been harassing you with a wedding fails mood board? Is that it? Are you so superstitious as to believe your wedding's going to be ruined just because someone sent you photos of a smashed cake, wilted flowers, and I can't even tell what the third one is supposed to be.
It's my wedding dress, or rather, its remains. Are you really going to pretend you don't recognize these pictures? You've been trying to interfere with my wedding plans since day one. I've worked so hard to put together the wedding of my dream under strict time constraints, and you've ruined it all. I don't know what you want me to say. The fact that you think I had anything to do with these messages, threats, whatever, is just ludicrous. On what basis are you accusing me? Well, who else would go through all the trouble to set it all up? I don't need hard evidence to see that the crazy ex-fiancé is the only one with a motive. What are you going to do, have me arrested based on speculative evidence? Go on, use your wealth to unjustly punish an innocent woman whose only crime was getting engaged to the one you were pining after. Wasn't it enough that you stole the one I loved away from me? What more do you want? Don't make me laugh. I was the one who stole him away from you. Me? How could I have stolen something that never belonged to you in the first place? No wonder he got tired of you, so childish and immature. He chose to be with me, willingly. He left you out of his own volition. Why can't you get it through your thick skull? I've tried my best not to intervene in his life, to respect his choices and let him move on peacefully, to hold my tongue and accept that he let go of me. Why can't you show me basic human decency and stop throwing around baseless accusations? You can't fool me with this pathetic performance. I am going to marry the one I love, even if I have to walk down the aisle in a dressing gown and cut into a grocery store cake. This wedding is happening no matter what deranged scheme your conniving brain thinks up. Do you know why that is? It's because both the bride and the groom want it to happen. If you dare show your face at the wedding reception, I'll have you arrested on the spot. Oh, and one more stunt, and I'll do everything in my power to ruin your pathetic life for good. Isn't it a bit too cruel? I've tried staying as far away as I could, and yet here I am sobbing, imploring you to help me. I know you blocked my number, but please, hear me out this once.
Adeline, why are you texting me from your mother's phone? What's wrong? Is everything all right? I don't understand. Weren't you the one who blocked my number?
No, everything's not all right. I am scared and confused. I have no clue what I am supposed to do.
Please, tell me what happened.
Your fiancé just sent me a million texts accusing me of ruining your wedding and threatening me. Could you explain what's going on?
Right, I am sorry. The wedding planning process has been a disaster. The dress, the venue, the food, everything ended up falling apart. They've had to redo everything in a rush.
Do you also believe I was the one behind all that?
Of course not. I don't know how Claudia came to that conclusion. We've been looking for days, but we couldn't find a single trace left behind by the perpetrator. Her accusations won't hold up in court, I promise.
That's a relief. David, Nathaniel told me everything.
He did? Everything?
Well, he told me the reason you broke up with me and agreed to marry Claudia. Be frank with me. Are you in love with her?
Isn't the answer to that question obvious? You're the only person I've ever loved, Adeline.
How can you say something so shameless after everything you've done? What's the point in lying to me now?
I'm not asking for your forgiveness, nor do I expect you to be understanding about the choices I've made. If you ask me to, I promise I'll try to get over you.
I don't know what I want. What I need right now is consolation. Will you talk to me, face to face, now that I found out the truth? I promise I won't keep you too long. You'll still be able to make it to your wedding.
Sure, if it helps make you feel better. Are you at your parents' place?
I am at our apartment.
I'll be right there. Adeline, is there something wrong with the door? I can't seem to open it.
Oh, that's because I've locked it. Sorry, I know it's crazy, but hear me out before you condemn me. Nathaniel lied to me about the reason you called off the engagement. Who's to say he isn't lying about his debt? I can't let you get married before we get to the bottom of this. If you want to drive to the ceremony despite all this, the spare key is under my pillow. You can unlock the door and go to her.
I was planning on investigating his claims too. In hindsight, I should have done that from the very beginning. If only I hadn't trusted him so much. I never wanted to go through with the wedding. I've been doing everything I could to delay the ceremony until I found another way to pay her off.
So the dress, the wedding cake, the flowers, it was all you're doing?
Yes, I am sorry I didn't tell you earlier. I was scared you'd think I was out of my mind.
Out of your mind? David, I don't want to alarm you, but I have been staking out Nathaniel's apartment for the past hour and a half, waiting for him to leave for the wedding ceremony so that I could break in and look for clues.
Adeline, send me your location. I have a spare key to his apartment. We can start looking as soon as he leaves for the wedding ceremony.
All right. Maybe splurging on that 5-star restaurant was worth it after all. My complimentary birthday cake wish ended up coming true after all.
Your wish?
I wished you'd tell me the real reason behind the breakup.
Oh, sorry for making you waste your birthday wish. Nathaniel begged me not to disclose it to anyone else, plus I was worried about dragging you into a dangerous situation.
I know. I understand, but we're partners. If you have problems in the future, whatever they may be, tell me and we can deal with them together.
I will.
As expected, the proof Nathaniel had shown David was completely fabricated. He learned about Claudia's infatuation with David when I made a nonchalant joke about it at dinner. I guess that night, blinded by greed, Nathaniel saw an opportunity to turn his life around. He lied to David that he had been drowning in debt for a few months and had some really dangerous people after him. He said he'd spoken with Claudia and she was ready to pay it all off if David agreed to marry her. David asked him for some time to think of alternative ways of getting the money, but on my birthday, he got a call from hysterical Nathaniel saying his life was in danger. He was captured by one of the loan sharks he had borrowed money from and needed to pay him $50,000 before midnight. David called Claudia and the rest is history. I thought after being left at the altar, Claudia would be furious, but luckily, after hearing the truth, Nathaniel was the one who became the target of her wrath. She felt like a fool hanging on to his every word. Since she did transfer $50,000 to his bank account, she decided to sue him for fraud and bleed him dry. I'd love to say I feel bad for him, but I really don't. Every time I think about him blocking my number from David's phone and letting me wallow in sorrow for a week, I can't help but feel enraged. Why didn't I try to reach out sooner? Why was I so quick to give up on him? These regrets just won't leave my mind. David wanted to come clean about ruining her wedding plans, but I stopped him. He really can't afford to be fired from his first job out of college. If she hadn't figured it out thus far, the chances of her finding out later were slim to none. Our own wedding plans had been put on hold. We realized we still had some maturing to do before diving headfirst into a lifelong commitment. For now, my boyfriend and I will focus on advancing in our careers and being more responsible with our finances.